Oh, I don't like this. Oh, you got good balance. Good balance.
Yep, that's me. You must be wondering how I got myself in this situation. A couple of months ago, I flew to Japan for a holiday with my partner, and one of the things we did was to watch this sumo show at the Sumo Hall Hirakuza in Osaka. We found this show on Klook, and each ticket is about 400 ringgit plus, so for 2 people, it is almost 900 ringgit. This is not a sponsored post by Klook, by the way, but Klook, if you want to hook me up, let me know. Take note that this wasn't a real sumo fight, it was a sumo performance show. When we arrived at the hall, the staff was super helpful and super friendly, and they all spoke English. Just like in many parts of Japan, the service was awesome. The moment we stepped into the hall, I was so excited and my hopes were running high. The sumo ring in the middle was super legit and I thought this was going to be a great night. So we were seated at our tables, and each table we were given a bento box. In the bento box, there were like many small portions of varieties of food, and I tell you, oh my god, the food was totally ass. Personally, it was the worst food I had in my entire trip in Japan. I still finished the whole box anyway because I don't like to waste food, and also I paid 400 ringgit per ticket. The show started off a bit slow . First, a white guy who was hosting the show came up and he was telling jokes on stage. To be honest, I felt quite bad for him because the jokes were quite bad and nobody was laughing. I wasn't sure if that was part of the joke but yeah. Then he introduced the 4 sumo wrestlers that were wrestling that night. They then proceeded to do this dance choreography, which was a little slow paced. I didn't really get it, but I think it's supposed to tell the story about the birth of sumo. To be honest, at this point of the show, I was a little bit bored and I felt a tinge of regret coming to this show. I honestly wanted to leave, but then I remember I paid 400 ringgit plus per ticket. Then the second part of the show started and it actually got pretty good. There was a quick demonstration on the rules of sumo, which was quite entertaining and informative. And then the sumo wrestlers came out and wrestled each other, which was really fun to watch. 2 wrestlers are paired off to wrestle each other, and the winner of each pairing will fight in the finals. The sumo wrestler with the green mawashi was eventually the winner, which was quite surprising because there's this one huge guy, which I thought he would default he'll win, but no. So I guess it's all about technique and not about size. Size and weight didn't matter. Then came the part where they announced 3 members of the audience will have the opportunity to wrestle the sumo wrestlers. I didn't think much about it because what are the odds that I'll get paid, right? Because there's so many people in the audience. But then it happened. The first number that the host pulled from the box was my number. The very first one. I still can't believe that happened. What are the odds? Then I was brought backstage to prepare. They asked me to put on this silly sumo fat suit and a pair of really slippery socks. I came back on stage and it was showtime. So at the go, I really tried my best to really move in. I dashed forward. Really, the guy wouldn't budge. He was like a giant heavy rock. And I was really doing all I can to move him, but no. Not an inch. The guy was really strong. So at first the sumo wrestler was messing around a bit, but seeing my enthusiasm, he decided to show me a bit of sumo power. He tried grabbing me by the wrist. I saw that and I quickly slipped out, and we had a quick exchange of wrist slapping. But of course he was way more powerful and way more experienced. He managed to grab me and put me off balance. He pushed me to the side of the ring, and before I knew it, I was on 1 foot and I was about to be tossed out of the ring. So when that happened, I actually pulled a muscle in my butt and it already hurt. I was contemplating should I try to put my foot down and regain my balance, but then who am I kidding, right? Yep, I give up and allowed myself to fall out of the ring. The sumo wrestler let me down softly, but I knew if he could have just tossed me easily if he wanted to. The fight didn't last long. It was about 1 minute. I never thought that I had the opportunity to wrestle a real sumo wrestler. Overall, it was a great experience. I really had a great time. It was definitely one of the most memorable experiences that I ever had in Japan. Except the bento, that one was terrible. So was it worth the money? Yes. Only because I got to wrestle the sumo wrestler. If not, I don't know. The show ended, we took some pictures, and I was feeling sore, and I still had to walk home after that. Still can't believe that it cost 400 plus ringgit per ticket.